Really delighted and honored to be here today to share a little bit about Donald Trump. As I'm sure you all know, he's the new president, the president-elect of the United States. And let me just get started and tell you a little bit about myself and why should you spend at least an hour of your time listening to what I might have to say about Donald Trump. So, first of all, you guys know, even though I look Chinese, I'm American. I was born and raised in the US. You can tell from my accent, I am American. I actually started being involved in US politics when I was a teenager. So when I was about 13 years old, I started volunteering for different political campaigns in the state of Maryland, where I grew up, so which is right next to Washington, D.C. So in the U.S., as you know, there's two political parties, and I was involved in the Republican Party, so that's the one with the elephant. The Democratic Party is the one with the donkey. And since then, I've had the chance to be involved in the U.S. political system in different ways. As a volunteer, I've worked as a policy analyst for a think tank in Washington, D.C., providing advice to the U.S. government. I've given money to presidential campaigns. I've raised money for presidential campaigns. And perhaps most of all, I'm going to be called a political junkie, which just means someone that really follows politics a lot. Like some people, like some of you guys, especially the guys, the men here, are sports fans, and you might follow soccer teams. Well, in the US, it's a little bit different than in China, that politics is actually, for some people, a hobby, and some people follow it very closely. So I want to start out by saying what I'm saying is not, I can't say that it's right, I don't have a crystal ball, but I have spent a lot of time watching and thinking about these questions, and what I'm sharing with you guys are really just some observations, some data. And I'd love for you guys, there'll be time in the talk for you guys to ask your questions. And they could be as simple as, what is a political party? To, if you've been following the campaign as well, what are some of Trump's specific policies? What does it mean if he appoints a certain person, let's say as Secretary of Transportation or Secretary of Defense? What does that mean for the United States? What does that mean for China? What does that mean for the entire world? So, today, what I'd like to cover, I'd like to answer three questions. The first one, who is Donald Trump as a person? The second, how and why did he win? How many people have followed the US presidential election at all? Raise your hands. Okay, a few of you guys. Okay, so what you may know is that his winning the election was a huge surprise that shocked everybody, that from other politicians to the media, including very well-known, respected media platforms like the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, I'm sure you've heard of Time Magazine, The Economist, all these names you've heard of. Everyone was completely shocked when he won. So why? So that's the second question I'd like to talk to you guys about. And then finally, what might he do as president, given who he is as a person, how he won the presidential election? What are some things he might do, and how might that affect not just the United States, but China and the world? I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Donald Trump. How many people feel like they know something about Donald Trump? You want to raise your hands? I'm sorry? Special hairstyle, yes. He has a very special hairstyle. Many people describe it as orange, which is a very unnatural color. That's a great point. Anyone else?
Famous actor.
He is a famous actor. Well, yes, he's actually been in movies, but he's also a very famous TV celebrity. So you're right? Anyone else? He has, you're right. Do you know her name? No. Okay, Ivanka. Yes, Ivanka Trump. Yes, exactly. So you guys know something about Donald Trump, and that's not surprising. He's a very famous person. He's been a famous person before he became elected president. But I'd like to share with you 5 interesting facts that you might not know about Donald Trump. First of all, he lost $1 billion in the casino industry in the 1990s. So 1 billion, in case you guys are a little bit unsure about numbers in the Western system, is 10亿美金. Yes, it's a big number. He lost a lot of money in the 1990s. He actually once owned his own airline. 他有自己的航空公司. It was called, does anyone want to guess the name? Trump Airlines. Is that a surprise? But yes, he used to own his own airline. Third, he once owned the Miss Universe beauty pageant. So, beautiful women from all around the world would compete for the title of Miss Universe. And he was the person that owned that business, ran that business, and to a degree was involved in picking who the winner was. Did anyone know that? No? Okay. Heard about it. Okay. He's also written a number of books. And you've probably heard the New York Times because it's one of the most famous, most well-read newspapers, certainly in the United States and in the world, especially among political leaders, business leaders, many what we would call opinion leaders, or the elites, read the New York Times. So the New York Times has something called the New York Times Best Sellers List, and that's just a list of the books that are most successful in the United States. So Trump has written not just one, not just two, but several New York Times bestseller lists. Last, believe it or not, he was actually even nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. True, not fake news. You can look this up. He was nominated for a Nobel Prize. So, the point of this is that many people feel, even many so-called experts, feel like they know who Donald Trump is. But despite this, he's done a lot of things that I think most people would be surprised by.